spinach and roasted scallops, finished with some chives and some fresh ginger? Or will it be her food hell lamb? We just spilt it.
I'm all scoffing, always.
Make sure we got cameras on it. I'm going to slow braise lamb neck in lamb stock with shallots, garlic and rosemary before adding new potatoes and asparagus, cherry tomatoes, black olives, broad beans, red chard. Finished off with a chilli and lemon gremolata. Go and log on to the website now and have your say. I have to say it's neck and neck.
Is it? We've already had stew. Please give me some toasted
mushrooms. Could not be closer.
Oh, no.
There we are. Right, time to jet off to Thailand now with Keith Floyd, who's wrestling up some spicy pork balls.
Shrouded in mist and mystery. These people have managed to protect their culture for thousands of years, but now they're facing possibly the biggest challenge of their lives, thanks to new roads. It's great for visitors, but I suspect it won't be too long before we see the Hotel California guest house in these parts. I feel a bit like Arthur Conan Doyle, discovering a lost world shrouded in mist and mystery. These people have managed to protect their culture for thousands of years, but now they're facing possibly the biggest challenge of their lives, thanks to new roads. It's great for visitors, but I suspect it won't be too long before we see the Hotel California guest house in these parts. Many of the people around here come from Nepal and China and brought their expertise with them. Because the climate and soil are good here, there are many harvests each year. Here, they're separating the husks from the rice by the traditional method of fanning the unwanted parts away from the grain. Village sites are chosen using astrological and religious signs. They're a closely knit, tightly linked group of people who can only succeed by mutual help and support. The bond between villagers is only slightly less close than parents and their children. This radish is being dried in the clean air and preserved for winters to flavour soups, and the same with this corn. They dry their meat here too, high up on the roofs, looking like Genghis Khan's war trophies. In the village restaurant, a young girl cooks a classic everyday dish of the area. A couple of free-range eggs fried in peanut oil and scrambled, then finely sliced fresh bamboo shoots are added and stirred. It's quite brilliant and costs little. In fact, I've never really been turned on by bamboo shoots, but these were fresh and sweet, and the dish made a perfect crispy lunch. And I must tell you, Hector, it made a really refreshing change from those gargantuan lunches we used to have in Spain, remember?
Paul, I know you love setting up these romantic little shots, but the point is I've travelled all this way up into the tea country here in northeast Thailand to cook something. If you'd be gracious enough to get off the tripod.
Have to complain about that at all. The walls are bamboo, the ceiling is made of teak leaves, and the floor is made of mud. It's a fabulous place. We had a brilliant lunch here much earlier on. I'm going to cook a very simple dish today, deep-fried spicy pork balls. Paul, the main thing I need is me pork, and we've got no easy option up here, no Maggi mixers or anything like that. You actually have to chop the whole lot with one of these little axes. Okay, so chop, 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 chop. Lots of chopping goes on while I tell you about what the other bits and pieces are. Down here we have some salt, some chopped up garlic, some chopped up galangal or ginger, some dried peppers crunched up with shallots and garlic, some sour tomatoes. These are sour tomatoes, bred especially because I don't have many limes and lemons up here, and they do like the sour taste. Turmeric powder and some kaffir lime leaves. Anyway, what I have to do is put my chopped meat into the bowl. This is real mud pie stuff. I like cooking sketches where you can get your hands really well involved. And those of you at home, don't worry about my hands because I promise I'll wash them before I feed them to somebody else, okay? Right, bit of garlic goes in, like so. A good pinch of salt. I'll bring them over to you, Paul, it's probably easier. Kaffir lime leaves, finely. Now the fun bit. Squelch, munch, crunch, squelch. Mix it really, really well up. And of course, the hotter you like it, the more chili you put in. Now, while I'm mincing this away, Paul, we haven't got much in the way of light here. I've got to cook over charcoal next to the smouldering, smoky wood fire where they're drying bits of sweet corn and stuff like that. So if you like to paddle around and come inside so you can get really close to where the stove is, I'll form this into little balls and we'll fry it away. Just make myself comfortable down the stool. The bones aren't quite what they used to be. This is how we do it in Thailand. Little teak tears, charcoal stove, and the ingredients. There they are, Paul, that's what they look like. They're quite loosely formed. In fact, I squeezed them to neat, smooth little golf balls, and they came along and roughed them all up for me afterwards, because obviously I was getting it too tight. All we have to do is pop these little darlings into the fat. Like so. Give me a sec. He does get me in some funny situations, you know. I think I'll kneel down if it's all the same to you. Fry them in little batches. There they are. Lovely little things. Pop them onto another plate. Of course, the skill of this charcoal cooking is pretty impressive. They got it down to a fine art because you can't control it. You can't suddenly turn it back a bit. Unidentified frying objects, aren't they? But I can assure you, the finely chopped pork, the lemongrass, the chilli, the cassia lime leaves, the sour tomatoes, will all make it absolutely wonderful. I always find these are rather chatty occasions. Because, you see, I don't speak any Thai, and they don't really speak any English. So we sort of assume that everybody's having a really good time. I certainly am. It wasn't easy for these people to relax in front of a motley camera crew, but during their lunch break away from the plantation, they seemed to enjoy my pork balls. I know the restaurant dogs did, but the young chef's bamboo shoots made a perfect compliment. Very nice. Can you tell her it's really delicious?
Yes, very delicious. You think so?
I meant in Thai. I could have said it in English myself.
Yes, very delicious. You think so?
I meant in Thai. I could have said it in English myself.
Thanks for that, Keith. Not the most helpful translation there. Still to come, we'll be showing off your kitchen makeovers and renovations, and Angela will be facing either her food heaven miso braised mushrooms with roasted scallops or her food hell lamb stew packed full of summer veg. Go along onto the website right now and have your say, because it's still neck and neck. Right, Olia, what you making?
All of your summer vegetarian barbecue needs.
Let's do it.
Are being done here. So the shah plov next week as well, which is this beautiful Azerbaijani plov. So the halloumi, I'm just going to.
You always make the most delicious food from the simplest ingredients.
Mm. Oh, thank you. I will take that.
That was me being oily.
Yeah, no, it was lovely. My outfit.
You look gorgeous.
I've got green and red. And of course, this dressing with the tarragon and lemon thyme, mushroom ceviche. You cook the mushrooms, you dress the mushrooms with this dressing, and you leave them for a bit, and it's just the most delicious thing.
Oh, wow.
I highly recommend it.
But also, you know the way
raw mushrooms.
Oh, I love raw mushrooms.
Just a bit of French dressing. Love it.
Nutmeg here. Okay, so just a little bit of nutmeg on here, and it's like an
Tom's
unusual
drifting
thing.
off at the end.
I'm watching. I'm mesmerised by the cooking, not by your chat.
Right.
So
cool.
tell us about those peppers. What did you do? So you took
So the
out
peppers, you can brain a bit, just to bring a little bit of interest in. Yeah. Let me
Right,
just
go
make
on in.
this up.
Slide one to the front so we can see it.
I will.
And just remind us what we got there.
So this is a herbaceous courgettes and peppers, the beautiful, not at all miseria salad, and grilled halloumi and pita breads.
Fantastic. Okay, that's all from us today on Saturday Kitchen Live. Thanks to Tom, Alia, Olly, and of course Angela. All the recipes from the studio are on the website, bbc.co.uk/Saturday Kitchen. Now I've got more Best Bites for you tomorrow at 10 a.m. on BBC Two, and I'll be back here next week when Rick Stein zooming in live with Sabrina Gaya, Shivi Ramatar, and Jack Savaretti. Have a great weekend. Bye for now.